is unfuttable. Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get to the chopper! Price go up.
Gigantic fusion reactor that just works.
Multiple income streams and real yield.
Ooh, yeah!
Jeeps can no longer dump on your heads. The revolutionary decentralized finance protocol. Fusion reaction in T-minus 3, 2, 1.
Fusion! You don't know the power. The math is unfuttable. Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
The mothership. And what's it gonna do? Everybody excited?
Oh, hell yeah.
Give my creation! Fusion.
Get ready to rumble.
Fusion.
Gotta do a huge shout out to Cool Sheet. That song just hits.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the official EMP live stream. We come to you every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. My name is AJ. I'm the team lead here, and I'm joined by my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
I'm good. Hey, everybody. Welcome.
Awesome. So, sorry being a little bit late again. Had a very busy day. Dev meetings, development meetings, marketing meetings, everything going on, but all good stuff. We'll talk about that tonight, and a lot of other cool things in the works. And obviously, we'll answer any questions that any of you may have. So feel free to type them in the chat for later tonight. All right, before we get started, too, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps us get the word out, gets more eyeballs on our ecosystem, and ultimately, again, gets more momentum here as we get into the real bull run. And speaking of the real bull run, ETH is absolutely pumping. We may see $4,000 ETH within a day or two.
I hope so.
Yeah, hopefully by the end of the month, that thing for sure, right, LA? I mean, things are getting really bullish.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. That'd be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, so market's looking good. Again, we've said this all along. Everything is very narrative driven. So, last week there was some nuclear geopolitical fear, obviously ongoing tariffs, but we saw a minor dip, and now just an amazing recovery. Some more legislation here, at least in America, of retirement accounts being now able to be exposed to Bitcoin, and all that is very pro crypto, and what we're seeing. And so again, if you go back and listen to 3 years worth of AMAs, the timeline is playing out exactly as we had thought. And again, nothing is guaranteed, but I think we see things really start to ramp up through August, September, with some real fireworks in October, and then a blow off top later this year. And that may even be a little extended. Again, we've also talked about the extended cycle where, with all the new institutional interest, we could see things go even further. So again, everything's playing out well, and that's bullish for EMP. So again, we've been rising right along with the price of ETH, Obviously, today we had some sell-offs, which again, more selling than buying will push the price of EMP lower. But overall, if volume is even steady, then we automatically go up with the price of ETH. So all that is looking really good. And yeah, we've had a good week. So we'll talk about all that. Anything else you want to add in terms of market updates, LA?
No, just that it's nice to see that more or less it's been pretty stable over the last couple weeks and we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Okay. All right. So we're gonna jump right into Fusion. Again, a lot of people were really excited for migration. Some people may have been a little disappointed, but all in all, our migration was really vital to the long-term success to Fusion. So now everybody has been, accounted for. Some may have gotten less or more than they expected, but based on what was deposited, what was actually withdrawn, and obviously we the money has to come from somewhere, so we couldn't do a one-to-one credit. So we did what we thought was fair, and that's way more than any other protocol ever does when sunsetting non-sustainable inflationary type contracts and games essentially. So all that being said, I know sentiment was a little bit up and down this week, but overall, we're still extremely optimistic for the future. And, obviously, a lot of people were able to get cheap microgrids because people are exiting. And, I know that might be frustrating to some of you that may have sacrificed early. But that being said, this is only temporary. And, there's only so much Sac Points people can sell from the migration. And so, moving forward, that is something you have to take advantage of now and won't be as big of a difference in the future. So, all right. So, LA, do you want to go over a little bit about the migration while I pull up the screen and explain it?
Yeah, so just a reminder for anyone that had positions in detonator, reactor, generator, sentinels, or defenders, we are working on completing our migration right now. And so what you will see when AJ pops up is that when you log into the Fusion website with the wallet that you had one of those positions in, you will see a banner at the very top and it will have a button that says migrate, and you'll need to click that button, and you will have to do that manually. And there is going to be a timeline, a deadline. And so I know a lot of people wait for things till the last minute, but this is us telling you, don't wait till the last minute. Go ahead and do it right away, because you're going to start earning right away and building your position. And if you guys haven't gotten involved in Fusion yet, we do have an incredible educational playlist right here on the same YouTube channel that you're watching. So after the show, you can go just below the video. You'll see the EMP logo. You can go ahead and click on it, go over to playlists, and you'll see the Fusion educational playlist. And you can find out all about the protocol, how it works, how to earn. And they're in like 2 to 5 minute videos, which is super convenient. But I think AJ is going to demonstrate.
Yeah, absolutely, LA. So again, we put a lot of time and effort into those videos, and in any of the AMAs too. Last week we did a really deep dive into how Fusion actually works. So I'll do a little bit of an abbreviated version tonight, but if you're more interested or you're new here, that was a great overview. And yeah, any of the standalone videos are great as well. But it's super easy. Again, if you were any of the legacy contracts, uh, this is for you. If not, there's nothing you need to do or worry about. But there will be a banner just like this one that says EMP Fusion, the Infinite Passive Income Loop. Above that would be a banner that looks almost identical, just it's blue with a different graphic, and it says uh, uh, legacy migration. So again, big uh, bold letters, legacy migration. And then over here on this side will be a button that says migrate. And all you have to do is hit that button, that says migrate. Again, it's blue as well. And then that will automatically contribute your Sac Points to your microgrid. So this right here, this grayed out, that is your microgrid. Your ownership percentage will show up here. Your microgrid value, at peg will show up as well, and it will show how many sacrifice points you have. So if you already have a microgrid, it will just add to your existing Sac Points. So super easy, super straightforward. One or two clicks, and you get it right here in your dashboard. And then if you want to stay and earn from Fusion and learn about it and know what we're building, that's great. If you'd like to exit, all you have to do is go to the market. You'll need to buy M Energy right here. I'm not connected, but buy M Energy here. You'll select any of the options. You can do eShare, ETH, BNB, USDT. You'll need about $15 worth of M Energy. But pretty much all the migrations were worth more than $15, even at a discounted value. So you're still ahead of the game. And then you'll come down here and you'll buy this battery. On the left right here, it says split my position. So you need 15 M energy. It will charge you another $1 to list. So I would suggest maybe 16 or 17 M energy total, and you can always buy more. You hit buy right here, and then when you come back to your homepage, it will show you. So let me actually switch to a wallet. Bear with me here, and I'll pull it up. Hang on one sec. All right, one moment. Sorry about this. All right, we're coming back. All right, here we go. You can see my screen.
Yep.
And all right, I should be able to just refresh here. All right, so if you go to dashboard, you're able to split my position. And again, this is one of the Treasury wallets, so this is a really large position that will eventually be burned. I know a lot of you were concerned about dilution, but these Sac Points will never hit the market, so that's really exciting for dilution as well. But anyway, you would just list how many Sac Points. Once you buy the split my position, you get it right here, and then you can list what you want to sell, how many. You can sell all of them or a portion of them, and you can select the price in each share that you want to sell. So it's super easy. Again, that's the overall migration. And yeah, I don't know, LA, was there anything else you want me to clarify or go over? Oh, did I lose you, LA?
No, I'm here.
Oh, all right, yeah. All right.
Awesome. No, that was a great overview. And like I said, if you guys have any other questions or you're starting from the beginning, definitely look at those tutorials, because that will take you from the very beginning all the way through how to use Fusion, how to earn, the different options, the different batteries, all of that stuff.
Awesome. Perfect. All right, good deal. So what is up next on the agenda?
Well, I just want to remind you guys, can you remind them of exactly when the deadline is?
Yeah,
and
so
make sure that people aren't waiting till the last minute and you're going ahead and migrating right away.
yeah, absolutely. So there is a deadline. We said 60 days from the initial announcement. So again, I can make sure that we have the exact date listed. But yeah, so we're probably looking at another 50 days. I think we did the migration last week. So yeah, sorry, LA, I don't know if that helps. But
No,
yeah,
that
60
helps.
days. Yeah.
In my head, I was like, is it 6 weeks? I know it has a 6 in it.
Yep. So
So yeah,
60 days, 2 months from when we announce. So yeah, again, please don't wait. This will be it. So after the 60 days, if you've been going for a year and don't check in to the ecosystem, you'll have to open a ticket in Discord. And honestly, I don't even think we're going to be able to do it manually after that window because it's the smart contract that gave the credit will no longer function. So
hmm
uh so yeah. But again, if you ever have issues, you can open the ticket on Discord and we can address it.
I love
Case
what
case
Neil
focus.
wrote. You don't have to burn them; just give them to me. I'll look after them.
Yeah, Neil, for sure. So yeah, that was again, that's our Treasury wallet. We'll be doing an announcement on that in the future, but yeah, I mean that alone was like 3% ownership, so that will be getting burned. Those that are concerned about Sac Points and being inflationary, which they're really not because they're based on EMP, and those that worry about dilution, will also be getting a much larger ownership once those are burned. So again, we're just waiting for all the dust to settle, all the actual migration to be over with, and then we really start turning on, the gas, so to speak. Cool. Okay.
Exactly. And I don't have this as a formal part of our notes, but I just want to remind you guys because there's been a lot of chatter in the chats. Obviously, we have been on the rise towards peg, but like we said last week, it's not going to be a straight line. There are going to be ups and downs on the way as we head up and to the right. And so, right now, obviously, we have had some people selling, but I just want to remind you that's a really good thing. That is exactly what we want. We want people to sell on the way up who are never intending to stick around for the long run because we need to feed out all of those people on our way up so that when we get to peg we stay there, and it's not going to be a straight shot. There are people who are piling up right now who may intend to swing trade. There are people that haven't been around for a million years and now they realize we're doing pretty well and they're ready to sell. That's okay, and we want to filter all of those people out on the way up, not once we get there. We are still working really hard as a community to get back to peg, and there's quite a lot of progress that can be made once we get there. But that being said, don't get discouraged or all down on your life when you see people selling because it's a good thing. We are getting rid of those people so that they're not an issue later on. That's exactly what we want.
Yeah, absolutely, LA. Again, it's funny how, in crypto, and I'm guilty of this. We all are. It's just human nature. When you're invested in a project and you do see charts go down, it's just again, it's something you have to work on, and the more time you're in crypto, the easier it gets. But the number one thing that combats that is conviction. So if you don't have conviction in a project, then you get really scared when you do see a dip. But if you do have conviction, then that is a lot easier to weather the storm because you know what is coming and what is on the other side. So yeah, and again, I mean, we could compare it to anything, you know, ETH, Bitcoin, anything. I mean, there was people saying it was the top at $100 or the $1 billion pizza that people were paying for a pizza with Bitcoin that's now worth $1 billion. So, and again, I'm not comparing EMP to Bitcoin, but I'm just saying that over the long run, with the mechanisms that we have set up, it is mathematically guaranteed that there will be no more EMP to be sold and dumped, so that the price can only go to peg and stay at peg with our bot. So it could take months, it could take a year, but we're all of it is here, and with the extended cycle, everybody else. There was another comment I saw a few times. Are we gonna miss this run essentially? And the answer to that is no. I mean, even if for whatever reason we didn't see things happen for another few months, then we have so many external revenue streams now that are not reliant on the market. And again, overall, I don't think we're ever going to have a bear market that we saw, previously because institutions are here. again, billions of dollars are going into crypto now. And so it's a double-edged sword because we may not get the 100x on memes that we got, in previous cycles, but we can more rely on, good projects and blue chip assets. Again, us being exposed to ETH, where we're not going to see, a 90% drawdown in a bear market. So all that is super promising for the longevity of EMP. No matter what time frame we're on, it's all mathematically driven. So, all right, awesome. All right, Ella, you want to talk? I know the other big discussion has been about APR. So maybe if you go through this with some bullet points, and then I can elaborate as we go, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So there's been lots of chat about Fusion APRs lately, as obviously more people are returning to the ecosystem that haven't been around a while. And one thing I just want to say right off the bat, it's been so refreshing to see so many of you being in the chats, replying to those people positively, and being a great part of the community. So props to you guys who have been doing that. But a little reminder of what we've said all along. We are one of the only DeFi projects that haven't died through the bear market, or worse, rug pulled and run away with everyone's money. And this is not a get rich overnight type of DeFi project. This is a long-term, generational DeFi project that will stand the test of time. And so that being said, it relies on real revenue. And while we have multiple super powerful revenue streams for Fusion, not all of them have kicked off yet or are at full force yet. And so unfortunately, we are still recovering from the hack, and we're lucky enough that we're able to have a recovery from that hack in general, right? But a lot of our focus right now is getting back to peg and fully recovering not only everyone's positions from the pre-hack, but also bringing the Treasury back to full force. But don't you dare sleep on the fact that Fusion is built to be a powerhouse when it comes to APR and revenue once all of these revenue streams are fully functional. So here's a few just to think about. One, eShare emissions. As eShare prices raise, so too will the APR that's associated with the emissions portion of the rewards. Fusion itself. As we get back to peg and we carry out our next big marketing blitz, all of those new users coming in will generate a lot of transactions, battery purchases. And as we get back to peg and the community's back in full force and everyone's excited about Fusion and doing lots of transactions, every single one of those transactions comes with transaction fees. And all of those fees go directly to rewards. They're not going in our pockets, that's for sure. Bonds, which after the hack compensation fund is fully paid back, will stand to be a massive revenue stream for Fusion, especially as the bond fund continues to grow steadily, which it has been every single week. There's been another 200K or more added to the bond fund since our last AMA last week, which is just incredible. HVM, which is set to launch the playable alpha by October or by the end of the year. AJ, which one of those, I don't know, is correct, but
Yeah. We're shooting for October, but yeah, end of the year for sure. Yeah.
But that will be a massive 10% revenue stream for Fusion, which I don't know if you've been paying attention or attending the HVM AMAs, but we have a lot of support right now, both on the Web 2 and Web 3 sides. So that stands to be absolutely massive. The peg bot when we get back to peg, which will help fuel rewards and also help us to stay at peg. The bridge, the DEX, other VC ventures we've entered into as a treasury, they all stand to fuel rewards in Fusion down the line. So you can either sit around and complain right now, or you can look towards where we're going, which is a very, very bright future. And the more positivity and help that you bring to the community, the quicker we'll actually get back to peg and reach that second stage of our total ecosystem recovery. And again, I just want to say thank you to all of you who have been incredibly positive and helpful in the community as of late, because you are making a big difference.
I love it, Ella. That was fantastic. So again, everyone, interrupt you during your flow. I'll elaborate on a few things. So, as you can see, we just broke down roughly 8 revenue streams that are pretty much independent of each other. So that being said, we are working on a diagram, so to speak, on Fusion Watch. I know a lot of you have been asking for us to show where the revenue comes from, what it is, where it goes, how much it is. So we're definitely working on that. Again, it's not as straightforward as people think, not only because everything is so variable, but also because we have to pull that data on chain and off chain to be able to reconcile. So it is a lot of work, and the answer is that we at least have something that somebody can go to and see where these independent revenue streams are coming from, which I think will really help people understand. And LA mentioned bonds. We'll talk about bonds in a minute too. But that also is a great baseline for the kind of APR that we can do once we have the collateral. So another question which we may get into later during the Q&A, but it was basically asking, why don't we just sell the EMP that's in the Treasury to fund bonds to then pay the yield? And the answer is the money has to come from somewhere, and if we're selling EMP, then that's hurting everybody else that's holding EMP, and we're not able to introduce it through LP, even with lots of liquidity, because any sort of LP means that the token is now available to be bought and sold. So, we appreciate the feedback, but there are a lot of things that, again, are just out of our control that we have to wait for the flywheel to start spinning up. And a major two of those that LA mentioned was the DEX. So as you know, dexSwap has been doing a lot of volume now on EMP and eShare ever since the migration. We've been averaging about $5,000 to $10,000 a day on both EMP and eShare, which is great. That could easily be in the hundreds of thousands when we're at PEG and when Fusion is really cooking. And HVM. So again, that is absolutely nothing to do with crypto. Even though we are a Web3 game, a lot of the revenue will be coming from Web2, and so that's revenue that has nothing to do with crypto cycles. And 10% of all that top line revenue goes to Fusion. So and we have two or three other things that we haven't really talked about yet. Obviously, right now we're spread thin on the development side, but there's always going to be innovations and opportunities that will feed Fusion. So the whole idea is that you're essentially becoming a member of the EMP ecosystem and earning from everything that we do in the future. That really is the elevator pitch
I love that
for
part.
for Fusion for sure. So yeah, absolutely, LA. So yeah, all right. Those were just some things I wanted to clarify and elaborate on as well. But I think that was a really good section for people that may be a little concerned that the APR isn't going to be attractive. But
Yeah,
and
and
yeah, go ahead.
honestly, if you aren't happy with the APR and you're not willing to wait towards the future for that long-term mindset, simply sell your microgrid and go into one of those crazy get rich now DeFi projects that will be around today, and then all your money will be gone tomorrow, and then you'll say, oh, I got lots of APR, but learn my lesson.
Yeah, no doubt. A zero, a balance. It doesn't matter if it's 1,000% APR. And unfortunately, that's a hard lesson to learn. And it's true. I mean, we don't say that to be jerks, but if you're selling your microgrid doesn't hurt the ecosystem, and it's designed that way so that it doesn't affect the chart. And if it's not something that you're interested anymore, nobody is locked in, nobody is held hostage. You can sell. Obviously, there has to be a buyer, but again, we said all along, the Treasury itself has been scooping cheap microgrids since the migration. So it is happening. I mean, and the community, some of you guys have been front running us. We want to get cheap microgrids, but you guys have been buying before we can. So there is liquidity there as well. for sure. But all right, and the only other point I want to make, LA, was just that overall, even as people do leave, that is also bullish for everybody else. So remember, when the Treasury buys microgrids, we're able to then burn them, which reduces the amount of Sac Points. Sac Points then become deflationary, especially when all the EMP is sacrificed. And that will automatically push the APR up, even with the same amount of rewards. So that is just a mathematical guarantee that, again, the same amount of revenue over a smaller pie is higher yield. So all of that is also, for lack of a better word, a backup plan that even if we can't increase revenue, which we just explained why we can, that alone will push APR up to a very attractive level. And that's for anybody, even if you're getting into Fusion new and not, part of the migration or early sacrificers, you still will have an attractive APR that will then, complete the flywheel, so to speak. So, all right, awesome. All right, Elliot, what's up next?
Yeah, an exciting little note from Grover tonight. Our first ever 50K EMP sacrifice achievement NFT has officially been sent out.
Let's
So if you
go.
want the details on that, he tagged the wallet. That shows so much dedication, commitment, and that's a history with Infusion. There's 3 commemorative, specially limited edition signed NFTs available left. There's a 25K NFT, a 50K NFT, and a 100K NFT. They are all signed limited edition NFTs, and once they're gone, they're gone.
I love it. So yeah, I was gonna try to pull up the dashboard really quick. I may have to. Oh, my Fusion. Yeah. So what we're referring to is these commemorative badges that I designed, and again, with the help of AI, of course. But with my digital art background, these are the Medal of Sacrifices. So again, you can see it down here, and as you get them, it will show up on what you qualify for, and then yeah, the top 3 are actually signed. So you'll get a signed version from me as an NFT. And again, when we say 25, 50K, 100K, that's an EMP, not in dollars. So, but yeah, really cool stuff. There's a lot of great little collectibles that you can get to show, that you're an OG in EMP. And yeah, I do know who that first person is. So if you're watching, thank you for your continued, uh, involvement and belief and support in the ecosystem. One of our long-term OGs for sure. So, and that's what it's all about. I mean, again, we're not here to, convince anybody, but a lot of you do see the vision and the goal that we've been building towards from day one. So I've said many times that we can't guarantee success, but I can guarantee that we will never give up. So we're pushing forward every day to continue to make EMP what we all want it to be, and our entire ecosystem. So all right, awesome.
Agreed.
All right, what's up next, Elliot? Anything else on
Yeah,
Fusion Watch while
not
I have
on
it up
Fusion
there?
Watch. I just kind of wanted to outline some changes that we're going to make just to be super transparent, and hopefully you guys are all super supportive of this, but we just kind of wanted to go over this as a little section in our AMA tonight. But as we've been feeling, both of us have been feeling a little bit burnt out from answering some of the same or very similar questions many times over in our chats recently, especially as a lot of new people are a lot of old people are resurfacing. And so we're going to be shifting our focus away from answering questions regarding the core mechanics of the protocol in the chats. And we're going to be moving the majority of our focus to answering questions on the AMAs where we feel like everyone can benefit from the answers in one uniform fashion. And so we'll be doing a lot more of directing users to our docs, our tutorials, and our timestamps and our AMA notes if they're asking questions that are really commonly answered or answered in the core fundamentals of our docs and the way that the protocol actually works. Because if we're going to focus our time and attention on growing the protocol and getting it exactly where we all want it to be, we just simply have to shift some of our focus to spending a lot less time answering questions that we've already answered in many of our AMAs and responding to FUD in the chats from people who haven't been around in a while and don't understand what's actually going on or how things work. And so we really hope that you guys understand, but just remember that all of you have the ability to help out in the chats, direct someone towards an answer if you see one that you know. And we always, always, always will be here to answer questions on the AMAs. And that is why we have the AMA questions tab on our Discord, so we can make sure to never miss any of your questions, because we do love answering your questions. But we're just finding that a lot of people are coming into the chats that are asking things that are already answered in all of the documentation, in all of the tutorials, on all of the AMAs, and we just don't have the physical energy or time capacity to answer them 100 times in a row.
Yeah, absolutely, LA, and I want to echo all this again. LA and I are still human beings, and I think that we do have superpowers, but it's just been really draining lately. And again, this is a temporary, switch, so to speak. If we, find a better way to explain, we will. But between Stinky, and some of our other mods, LA and I. It's just for stuff that we've gone over, literally thousands of times. It's getting to be really draining. And the alternative is the AMAs. I mean, that's the whole point. I would much rather be able to explain the, system, different, pros and cons, uh, technically, game theory, the history of EMP. Like, there's so much more that we can do on an AMA and a format like this than literally spending 2 or 3 hours in chats answering it. So we will spend more time on the AMA notes as well, because I get it. Some people may not want to watch a video, or maybe they can watch it in 2 or 3 times speed. But yeah, with some AI help, we can start transcribing the videos as well. But I think this will really help us, not only from a mental and personal standpoint, but it will also allow us to be more productive. I mean, over the weekend, I spent probably 3 hours in Discord answering, some what I would call unproductive banter. And so that just isn't good for anybody, because we can utilize that time to increase APR and build more things and brainstorm on what is working and what isn't working within the ecosystem. And last but not least, I just want to say all of you that are in the community have been incredible in helping answer questions. So obviously, we don't want you to answer if you are not familiar with the answer, or God forbid you make something up. Um, and obviously, we have mods that will monitor that. But the whole point is that we really want it to be uh, a community effort again. And those that do have more common questions, it would be amazing for all of you to help answer those. So, and again, this isn't us saying we're not answering questions. It's just how we're gonna do it. So, I will literally be on this AMA for 3 hours if I have to, and answer questions to where I can explain them properly and they're not taken out of context, and everybody gets to hear the answer that somebody else asked. This is just a way better format, and again, it's why we've done AMAs for 3 years straight. So no other protocols are doing the amount of AMAs that we do, and that's for a reason, because we care about the education. It's just the proper way of presenting it. So all right, awesome. I think that will help LA for
And
sure.
I know people get pissed off at us when we direct them towards AMAs because they claim they don't have time to watch them. But luckily, we have Darusik doing the timestamps. Big shout out to him, because in the time that you can take to type the question, you can go to the timestamps and get the answer. And so we are going to be directing people towards that. And if you do have questions that you are burning to have answered and they haven't been answered in the previous AMA, just throw them in Discord in the AMA questions section, and we will always make sure to get them answered for you. We do love answering questions for you. Just like AJ said, we are shifting the manner in which we will be doing so.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, our documents, our resources are so robust. Like, we have, white papers and, every kind of color paper. You can imagine just from all the years of doing this. So the information is there, and I get it. People want instant gratification, but we don't want people that just want to jump in and jump out. We want people that actually want to learn about the ecosystem, and the best way to do that is through all the resources that we give. So yeah, it's about quality of new participants, and that I think will be really beneficial to everybody moving forward. And again, if people actually take even 5 minutes to read the docs and to learn a little bit, Fusion really sells itself. I mean, it's a passive income platform with exposure to Ethereum, and you get exposure to everything that we build, real yield moving forward, no more inflation. The elevator pitch is very quick and easy, and all the nuance is pretty easy to figure out too. So, all right, awesome. I think we explained the new direction for sure.
Yeah. Now on to some exciting stuff. Do you want to pull up the bonds page?
Yeah, let's go. So hang on one second. Sorry, I'm behind today. All right.
Well, just while he says that, does that, I will say we have had some unreal trading weeks with the bond funds these past few weeks. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I certainly have. We've been able to accelerate the payback to the compensation fund. I was blown away when I looked at mine today. I was like, whoa, that was a lot more than last week and the week before. So I don't know if you want to
Totally.
touch on that, AJ, but that's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot to touch on here for sure. But first and foremost, you can see, with the performance of the fund and ETH absolutely pumping right now, we're at 2.2 million in just this Treasury bonds alone. I think overall now we're well over 2.5 million. We may even be closer to 3 million. I haven't done the
When I
math
added
today.
it up a few hours ago, we were over 2.7 million.
Yeah.
And since then, ETH has gone up another like almost $100. So more than that, even.
Yeah, totally. Well, and again, like Ella said, all the trading, I mean, we call it trading. We're not physically trading tokens, but all the volume on the tokens has been incredible over the last 2 weeks. And we top everything up on Wednesday. So you get a really nice picture on Thursday. The APR is now up over 100% again, up over 110%. Last night it was even upwards of 120%. Again, as new capital comes in, it brings the APR down a little bit. But obviously, APR is, I've said this many times, but APR is calculated over a year, annual percentage rate. So it's really difficult to calculate APR when we're looking week by week. But since bonds launched, we're hitting those targets that we set, an average of 90 to 120% APR. Some weeks will be 150, some weeks will be 70, but overall the APR is cranking. And another number that really can illustrate that is this total USDC distributed. I mean, this number has been going up at a much faster rate because we have more capital deployed and the volume is higher. So, overall, we paid out, I think, closer to 300K on total USD payouts as well. So all that is there. One thing too, I just want to really quickly address, the dollar value of bonds. When we first started minting bonds, they were about 0.1 ETH. and ETH was lower then, so you paid about $250 per bond. Now that ETH is pumping, I would assume that almost everybody is also now in profit on their principal as well as earnings. So that is pretty amazing. What you may be down a little bit in, as you can see here, is the ETH value. So remember, this ETH value, in terms of tokens, not dollars, will fluctuate. And what this means is right now it's down from that 0.1 a little bit for a couple of reasons. But the biggest reason is that ETH is outperforming all the other assets that we are providing liquidity for. And this number gets really skewed when we see ETH pump. So because ETH has been on an absolute tear the last few days, this number has gone down a little bit. However, when alts start to pump, again, a lot of the tokens we provide LP on are mid to high cap alts with plenty of liquidity. Then this number will also start going up again. So during the actual alt season, we may see you up in ETH value, dollar value, and yield, which would be incredible. And really, only in the first few days, people were minting at 0.1 ETH. The average has been more around 0.9 or even 0.85. But if you're worried about losing this ETH ratio, then I would just use some of your bond revenue to just buy Ethereum. And then, that's another really cool thing with bonds. You can use it to basically automatically accumulate, Bitcoin and ETH as well. So, and then one more thing here while I'm thinking about it. This is our full transparency. Every single LP position that we're in, and yeah, look, we had about 50K of ETH deposited in just the last day. So all that capital still needs to be deployed, which will push APR. And APR is usually a week behind as well. So remember that we refill once a week. So when that capital comes in, it lowers the APR artificially because we haven't had a week to deposit again. So again, just in full transparency, that's what we're doing. But as you can see, here are all of our positions, and things are well diversified, and you can account for every single dollar that there is. So, all right, LA, anything else you want me to show on bonds?
If you want to go back to the main page, one thing I wanted to highlight is between the main bond page, the elephant bonds and the Bernard bonds, we have already paid out over 220,000 in bond rewards, which is mind blowing for such a short time. Like, holy cow.
Yeah, no doubt. So again, I mean, APR extrapolated out at the levels we've been. I mean, you're still looking at like 0.3 to 0.4% daily, which is insane. I mean, that's usually like a ROI DAP Ponzi number, but we're doing it with real yield. And again, that can fluctuate. Nothing is guaranteed. We've seen some other protocols have some issues with guaranteed returns. And when you start guaranteeing returns, it gets really, really tricky. So it will never be a guarantee. It will always fluctuate. But who knows, man? If this continues and we keep finding amazing high volume LP pairs, we could absolutely see APR get even higher. And when the recovery fund is fully paid out, not only does that give us more flexibility with APR, because we're getting 30% rather than that 30% going to the recovery fund, but that will also directly feed massive amounts of revenue to Fusion and GDEX. So again, that's all part of the long-term plan, and everything that we're doing is working honestly better than we had planned for. So that's really great news. Cool. All right.
Did you want to pull up the bond graphic?
Yes. So speaking of different strategies, let me pull that up. All right, so this is something we shared last week, but I think this is a great, obviously not financial advice. Everybody is free to do how they please, but this, in terms of EMP and bonds, is an amazing strategy moving forward. So if you're brand new to the ecosystem, I would start with bonds, and I would use 40%, and even if you're not brand new, but you have fresh capital to deploy, use 40% of the bond earnings to buy more bonds, so you're always uh, earning more and more. That will also help with that ETH value going down. With minting bonds, and you're compounding. Unlike you know other ROI games or other protocols, where you're compounding basically imaginary numbers. This is real. I mean, this is capital going in, and because you're always getting your underlying assets back, compounding is very, very powerful when it comes to bonds. So we say 40% to buy more bonds, 25% to buy more EMP off the market and sacrifice, 25% of bonds to buy microgrids off the market, because again, um, buying and sacrificing will help the price of EMP and ultimately peg recovery. But you also want to try to get some really good deals off the microgrid marketplace as well. And then finally, 10% you can use to pay your bills, go have dinner, speculate on other memes or whatever else, or buy more Bitcoin, whatever suits your fancy. So this has been a really cool way to get involved with EMP with very little risk at all. So, all right, anything you want to add to that, Ellie?
Not really, but just this is a great little strategy that can help you build short, medium, and long-term positions and benefit from the entirety of our ecosystem.
Yeah, 100%. So, and we have this graphic in all of our socials as well. I think if you do /bonds, it will come up with some other official links and everything else. So, yeah, there's this again. Everything we do is we try to make it as easy for people as possible. And this is another way to kind of have the easy button for getting into EMP. Cool. All right.
Awesome.
What's up next?
You were on a podcast this week. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So another the rest of today will be just some housekeeping. Had a really amazing experience with a new podcast channel. Um, Royalty is the name of it. We'll post the link. A good friend of mine, Christian, has started it, and we did an interview that really went into my personal story. So if those of you that may want to know more about me, my background, who I am, and not necessarily a lot about crypto, although we did go into EMP. That would be a really cool video to watch. And I just want to, show Christian some love for putting it out. All of us are on the same wavelength with positivity and trying to, create your own destiny. And that podcast really went into it. And he'll have some more guests. So make sure you give him a follow and subscribe. Like I said, we'll post the link in the description and in the comments. So yeah, that was really good. And we have another community member that released a book, right, LA?
Yes, a guide, a DeFi guide. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, did I get rid of you? Oh, what happened here?
Oh, can you still hear me? I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay, I hear you. Sorry about that. Hang on, let me fix our screen. Man, never a dull moment. All right, is that better? Maybe?
Yeah, we're giant now. Oh,
Hey, there we go. All right, we're back.
Yes, so
Oh,
he
man.
released a DeFi guidebook, which is exciting.
Yeah, so DeFi demystified. So one of our community members put out a book. I think it's only $1 to download it. If you want to get the paperback, you can buy it. But there's a lot of great info in there, and a lot of mentions of EMP as well. So again, if you want to get the direct link, we'll post it here, or you can ask in any of our socials as well. Oh, and Christian is here. DeFi After Party is one of his channels as well. I think that is the channel, but the series that um, we were part of is building your empire. So yeah, all right, awesome, awesome. So yeah, those are again just some more housekeeping outside of the outside of Fusion itself. But, all right, awesome. Any other questions, LA, before we? Or anything else before we get to questions?
No, I
Oh
think we
man.
can hop into questions.
All right, awesome. So,
There's only a couple on Discord, so I'm going to hop into that.
okay, yep, and I'll get ready for the ones on YouTube.
First one, why don't you, the Treasury, scoop up the microgrids from 1 cent to 6 cents or even higher to take all of these out of circulation? It would look so much more attractive, especially for new users, if we keep a minimum floor price. Investors could think there is something really wrong if people sell this low and even there's nobody buying.
Yeah, so I would argue that that it's more attractive to have cheap microgrids. I mean, again, I can play devil's advocate on anything, at least short term, because that gives people an amazing entry and a way to catch up against you know those that may have sacrificed early. However, we are doing it. So the short answer is, we've been buying microgrids like crazy, and yeah, we will continue to do that. What we don't want to do is buy up the floor and then have people try to sell, higher than what the demand really is, because now we're essentially providing exit liquidity at an unfair price. So we're doing it very slow and steady. I mean, there's been plenty of sales. I may be able to get Grover to put together the numbers, but I know the volume has been crazy on microgrid. So I know they're buying, people are buying and selling, and the Treasury is definitely one of the biggest buyers. So yeah, anything that is the floor, we are scooping as we go.
Okay, awesome. And then the only other Discord question was, are there any updates or timeline for dexSwap?
Yeah, so again, that is the next priority. Obviously, getting bonds solidified and adding more quality of life to bonds. We've talked about a P&L and more metrics that you can see in your bonds. That is bringing in the most right now, so we're prioritizing that. But yeah, dexSwap will definitely be next up on the list, and then that will include cross-chain integration. Will be back on Base, Arbitrum, and Pulse. So those that also want to know about Spark, that is still the plan, is to migrate Spark and give compensation in the new DEX token for dexSwap. So that is still planned. We don't really have a hard timeline, but now that we're through Fusion migration, that is on the next part of the roadmap for sure.
Right. Let's see what we have in the chats here.
Let's see this question here while you're going through it. So I looked at the two wallets that sold today, and they only have 7,500 EMP left. So there you go. I mean, to what Ellie was saying earlier, obviously people are going to sell along the way, and once they sell it all, and that is EMP is either in the LP or in Fusion, that is a good sign for peg recovery for sure.
I'm disappointed that there hasn't been one single comment about your shirt yet in the chats.
Yeah, I got a pretty bright shirt today, right?
Because
Yeah.
it is pretty festive. Is that
Yeah.
fruit or?
Yeah, it's
fruit?
actually a Willy Wonka shirt.
Nice.
So yeah, you know me.
Love it.
I love my Willy Wonka. So it's all a bunch of candy.
That's what I'm disappointed in.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. So yeah, gotta my daughter loves all my loud shirts, so
I love it.
I wear them. Yeah, so
So Neil writes, I know there's more important to come first, but in time would be great to have a revenue stream list and data. I know that's still on the
yeah,
way.
totally. So yeah, I don't it's right here. Yeah, so absolutely, Neil. That is next on the list. So you can see on DexFi right now, they have a Treasury page that explains all that. So between Fusion Watch and what we can use with DexFi, we'll definitely start having a more concrete display of the revenue for sure.
Awesome. I think Grover is doing such a good job in the chats answering everything. I don't know if there's anything left.
Yeah, I love it. So again, I know this is one that we had gone over again, regarding sacrifice points, and obviously the goal is to increase everybody's share by burning those sac points uh, as we buy them off the market. Again, just reiterating what we went over, and yeah, he's been killing it today. So I don't know if there is any other questions.
There's one more from Yvonne. Are there plans for the bonds to provide liquidity on chains other than Base and Sonic?
Yeah, so that is a really good question. So, two parts to that. Number one, the short answer is no, just because the yield on the base farms have been killing it. A lot of volume. We've actually transitioned even some of the money away from Sonic to base just because it's been performing better. There was some discussion on, Hyperliquid. That might be the next chain that we go to and that we are providing liquidity on. And obviously Sui and Solana, but Sui and Solana will require a bit of a difficult transition because we're not able to show that one wallet. We'd have to have 3 separate wallets to docs everything, which is still possible. It adds a little bit of confusion. So we're trying to figure out the best way that we can do that. And obviously we use our underlying tech of the vaults to create and manage the LP. And as of now, we don't have vaults on Sui or Sol, so it has to be EVM compatible. And we utilize the vaults so that we're not physically managing LP positions on our own. So, and that's also a bit of a compliance issue for sure. So we're never managing funds. Everything is done through the vaults. So all right. Hopefully that
Amazing. I
answers.
think that might be it for oh, we got one more. How's the baby doing?
Yeah, so my little guy, he's doing great. So he'll be 1 year old next week. So yeah, pretty crazy. Time flies. He just took his first steps. So yeah,
Aww.
pretty awesome stuff. And yeah, we've been building a family both inside and outside of EMP. So there you go.
I
Totally.
love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for asking. So yeah.
Awesome. Well,
Awesome.
guys,
Yeah.
remember to hit that like button and that share button on your way out. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's always a pleasure. And we always look forward to seeing you here.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we're getting ready for our next AMA with Universe Madness. I know we talked a lot about that tonight as a revenue stream. We have a real game, so we unveiled that last week. Make sure that you get involved over there as well. It helps your APR in Fusion. So anybody that asks about APR and is not following HVM, they have to go in the corner. So, yeah, so. A really
Mhm.
great week ahead. Appreciate you being here, LA. And yeah, thank you to all of you for continuing to trust in the process as we move forward. And we'll have a lot more to share next week. Again, it seems every week we have something new. And then LA, I think we're going to take a break the following week, right?
Yeah, so we're going to take a little midsummer break for a week on the 21st. We both have some family stuff going on, and so we thought we would award ourselves a little mini break for 1 week.
Yes, absolutely. So the post migration celebration. So yeah, but yeah. So if you have
Love that.
questions, yeah, make sure that you get them in for next week, and then we'll skip a week, and then we'll be back. And by then, who knows, man? ETH and Bitcoin could be new all-time highs. So let's go for sure.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
exciting to celebrate.
Yeah, no doubt. So, all right. Much love to all of you. Remember that we come to you every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to join us for the next AMA on Reverse Madness at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And make sure that, again, you like, comment, and subscribe to help get the word out. So, good night, good day. We will see you next week. Bye bye, everyone.